G'day guys, what's going on? Supero here. Welcome to the channel. Today I'm going over my round 7 review. I scored 2,466 in the top 7%. And I went up the ranks about 1,065 spots there, which isn't the worst. Kind of slipping away a bit though. Even though I had the VC on Gorn this week, I only went up the ranks like 1,000 spots, which is a bit of a stitch up really. But yeah, did have a donut here, so it's all good though because we had the flex cover position with Nank covering our score there, so that's pretty handy. But yeah, a bit odd really with none of my M8 like positions being available to play this week. So a bit concerning. Kind of need to get rid of one of these guys that are just dead rookies at the moment. So Nevitt was a bit of a late out as well. I think he had a bit of a foot injury. I think that's what it said on the website. So not sure if he's going to be coming back this week or not, or next week, sorry. But yeah, a bit of a stitch up. So I might have to get rid of someone here. Gone with the 174, which is just crazy. Absolutely love to see that. It was a pretty clear choice though in the end against Nank. He's had the past like 2 games scoring like 160 against him. So pretty obvious choice there. But we're running the 3 ruckman here. So we got TDK there as well and Nank. So I thought, yeah, just hold on to TDK here for another week just because he had, what's his name, his brother, Sam DeConing for the Cats, so he dominated him. Oh, well, I don't think he was playing. It was Reece Stanley, sorry, more in the ruck. But, yeah, pretty easy matchup against the Cats anyway. So, yeah, he's got really no reason to be leaving my side at this point of the year anyway. He hasn't gone under 100 yet, so I think he's just a fine hold for the whole year until he starts to drop in price or like Pitnet, comes in and affects his role, but it just doesn't seem like that's the case or it's going to happen or anything. So I've got more of an issue with Nank. He's just been bloody garbage. Shocking pick, I think. A bit of a disaster, really. Should have really just gone with Cherry, but it's hard to predict these things. I think having 3 ruckman isn't the worst situation. Like if you got Cherry here instead of Nank, you're laughing. You're going up the ranks. But yeah, I've got the other end of it. Got bloody Nank. He's not even a top 3 ruckman, so bit of a stitch up. But what can you do? Had gone this week. Lucky to get 106. I think he was a bit unfairly scaled down. I think he should have at least got 110 to be fair. But yeah, his ruck opponents coming forward, bit interesting. So he's got Hawthorn here with Lloyd Meek, so he went off. If you got him as well, he's probably ahead of Nank as well. But yeah, he went off against who was it? I can't even remember. I think it was Flynn. Yeah, so that'll be interesting to see how Nank goes against Meek this week. I think I've just got to hold him. I've got like bigger issues in my team than having to get rid of Nank, but he does have that cash sitting there, so I could do that. But I think I'm tempted to just hold on to him. He's got West Coast coming up as well, so that could be Flynn. So he could dominate him. He's got the 131 there from 2024. Not the greatest score in around 23, but yeah, interested to see how it goes against what's his name. I'll have a look at the DFS. If it's a good lineup or not. Good matchup. It's not too bad, yeah. So I think it's worth just holding him. And then he's got Cherry there. So last time he played Cherry, I think he scored about the 150. So I think it's reasonable to hold him. I'll be spewing if I trade him out and he goes nuts like I traded out Humphrey last week. That didn't work out too well for me, but yes, most people would have done that as well. A bit of a stitch up, 151 he scored. So yeah, big FU to us who traded him out. So well, what do you do? He's just been garbage before that, but yeah, he come good in the end. And then yeah, he's got a matchup with Eston as well, so that's going to be a juicy game, you would imagine, with Goldstein being the number 1 ruck. So some pretty favourable fixtures coming forward, I would imagine here, and Briggs as well coming forward. Not sure if he's been in the greatest form, so I think I'm just going to hold him. So yeah, it could be a bit of a point of difference for me to help me try and climb the ranks. But yeah, hasn't been the greatest pick. But yeah, missed a bit of the games this week with just like massive assignments due. But yeah, in the last year of uni, so you know how it is, just got to grind. But yeah, the team's looking pretty good. I think Sheasel played really well in the North game. So yeah, this week there's a whole heap of value options available, which is interesting. Roberts was pretty good, taking some good intercept marks down back. And Bice, yeah, he looks like he's just one of those guys that could be a keeper at this rate, or just like a last sort of upgrade. He just seems to score well every week, which is great to see. Sinclair didn't really, I think I missed that game, so can't really comment on him. He'll be dropping in price if you don't have him. So, yeah, someone you'll be keen to get in. If you don't have him, he'll be coming down. Got the West Coast game coming up and some favourable fixtures coming up with like West Coast, Gold Coast, Melbourne. So, yeah, he's by the time the West Coast game comes around, should be a very cheap price for you guys that don't have him. Definitely would bring him in. Should be a top 6 defender, you would imagine. Jaden Short's just been an absolute disaster as well of a pick. He's just so bad. Like, don't understand. Had Melbourne, like, thought he'd have a good matchup against them, but yeah, just really shit the bed there and really disappointing. For me, it's kind of like I'm kind of tempted just like to hold him for the next 3 rounds. With like the West Coast game, that's like his high ceiling game, I think. So maybe if I just hold him for a couple more weeks, see how he goes. But yeah, he's just pumping out 80s, which isn't the greatest. But yeah, it's probably another one of those ones like Humphrey. If I trade him out, it'll go well. It's a bit of a joke, but I think it's okay for like points on field. But yeah, just kind of getting let down there when I've got rookies like Reed going 90, like don't even need short. So it's just a bit of a joke. But yeah, what to do? It's a big question mark. Anyway, we got Leak here and Carroll played, which was a bit of a surprise to me, but he's held his spot there, so that's good for his cash gen. Reed could be on the chopping blocks, honestly. Might just get rid of him, to be fair. Like, I think I might just cash him in. Like, don't need to be holding on to him if you don't want to. If you want to cash him in, I think that's not a bad shout. Even though he's got a break even of 48, he's still going to go up in price, but not all that too much. Wonder, like, is this going to work for me? Let's have a look. What if he goes another 90, then resets his break even, I guess? Like, oh, well, it goes down. Yeah, could still make a fair bit of coin. He seems to be playing pretty well, but taking a few intercept marks, using the body well. So, yeah, he looks like he's in good form, but I can argue the fact that I might just trade him in. Might have to use a boost trade this week. So we bought in Dacos, which was handy. 125, great stuff from him. Probably should have got scaled up a little bit. Got the Cats this week. He should go nuts, you would imagine, but could cop a tag potentially. And then Merritt has just been shocking ever since I bought him in. I really should have just bought in Andrew Brayshaw. Oh, bloody shocking miss there from me. I thought the fixture was just too good to pass up on, so I bought in, Merritt. He's got like this Marvel run, and then heaps of Melbourne games coming forward. So keen for that. Just worried about the Sydney matchup there, but hopefully he can have a bit of a response game this week. He's just hasn't been it. Just really disappointing to be fair. Sarong with 108. Yeah, like if I had have just started Brayshaw instead of Sarong, it would have been so much better for my ranking. But yeah, hard to predict these things. I guess like I wasn't really watching Freo as closely as I should have been. But yeah, watching the Freo play like the other night against Adelaide, and you could just tell that Brayshaw was just looking like he was going to go nuts. He just gets like heaps of free points, but he does play well, to be fair. Just someone who just accumulates the Supercoach points. So pretty mad that I don't have him in the side, but yeah, that's my own fault. I probably should have just started him, to be fair. But he's going to be around 700k, which is ridiculous. He's at 666k. Just really can't do anything at this point to get him in. Just going to have to hope he has a bad game coming up. Like he's got this like GWS and Port Adelaide coming up, so that's probably when I'll look at starting to arrange money for him like after those games. So probably around like after his bye maybe is a good opportunity to get him in, I would imagine. But yeah, he's got some tags coming up as well later in the year. It's just a matter of how the hell am I going to be able to afford him, and is he going to start scoring poorly, which probably doesn't seem likely at this rate. Neil had a bounce back game, which was good, so you could even bring him in this week. I'm pretty sure that Gold Coast leaked midfield points as well. So, yeah, who'd they play? They played Sydney. I think they did smash them, I guess. But I think Neil's a pretty good shout to bring in this week if you wanted to. pretty cheap. He's got the break even has reset there, so could be a guy to target if you don't have him. And then Chera, pretty a down game from him. There was a report that he might have a groin injury, so may need to get rid of him. Maybe it's the time just to cash him in anyway. He's had his like good fixture run, so yeah, could trade him in if you wanted to. If he does, even if he doesn't have a like groin injury, I think it's not a bad option. But there's no real need to trade him out. It's more of a sideways sort of trade, which could be a bit risky. But if you want to climb the ranks, I think it's worth the punt just to get rid of him. But yeah, it's a bit hard to tell with these things. I honestly might trade him out, to be fair. And then we've got Oliver. He's just been not great. He doesn't seem like he's in good form this year. Like he's a bit of a roller coaster as an owner. Yeah, has only turned up once, which is a bit of a surprise. A bit like Track, he's only turned up once as well, which is a bit embarrassing for those Melbourne guys. I think Oliver just needs a bit of a fresh start. Honestly, he just isn't it. He's got the West Coast matchup this week, so yeah, see how he goes. I guess see if he can score well for us. Could be on the chopping blocks. Really, might not actually be a keeper. And then Marek, 87. So that's pretty good. I was thinking about trading him out this week. Got the 59 break even, but if we have a look at his matchups coming forward, I think they're all like pretty good. Like yeah, green. So I think you could hold him for like another 3 weeks, to be fair. He's going to score well, make a bit of cash, probably won't really drop that much. So I think he's someone I might just hold for those next 3 weeks, unless I want a premium desperately that comes up that I didn't think of. I'll get rid of him, but I think I'll hold him for like next 3 weeks. I'd probably get rid of Short first over Marek, and I'd probably get rid of like a Levi Ashcroft sort of player as well, I would imagine. But yeah, this is where my team kind of falls apart at M8. I've got like Nevitt, Hall, Gross, and Camprioli, which just none of them even played this week, which is a bit of a shock. So don't know what I'm going to do. Like I kind of have to trade one of them just to have a fieldable option there. But yeah, I think I'm just going to have to trade someone there this week, which is a bit of a forced hand there. And then Horn Francis kind of looked like he was going to go off. He gave away a couple free kicks, affect his scoring there. So yeah, he was looking primed for a monster score at halftime, but then he kind of dropped off a fair bit. And then Bailey Smith was pretty good running the midfield for the Cats, so that's good to see. McRae, a couple down weeks from him, which is a bit frustrating. Oh, well, I think it was, yeah, like inconsistency, I guess. Like he had the 70 and then the 77, kind of dropping off a little bit there, so a bit frustrating, but is what it is. Everyone has him. Caleb Daniel was a pretty decent... didn't have the greatest game though, 89. Could be a luxury upgrade target later on for someone else. And then Levi Ashcroft, might trade him out this week to be fair, but could be someone that you do hold if you want a good rookie that's just going to keep getting games, keep going up in price, you would imagine. So yeah, he does have the matchup here, which would be pretty nice. I think he's got a pretty nice fixture coming up. Like, gets 100, only really goes up, what, about 22k? It's like you could just get rid of him, honestly. What if he gets like a 70? Yeah, he's just kind of hovering around that price there. So I think it's a good time to cash him in if you want to. But yeah, I could see the side of it where you want to hold him as well. And then we had Hewitt on the field over Cleary, which was a bit of a joke, a bit of a stitch up. Lost some points there, no good. But yeah, he's got the negative 32 break even still, so that's pretty good. So got to hold him for a few more weeks. And Cleary got the 89, which was a bit of a surprise after a shocking week last week of a 30. So kind of like good for his cash gen as well. So that's good. And then we've got Kako. We could trade him out, but my gut feeling says like might as well just hold him for this week anyway against North Melbourne. See if he can put together a bag of goals or not. But doesn't have a bad fixture really. He's just not really going up too much in price or even scoring well. So it's a bit of a dud rookie there. But yeah, going over my trades this week, I think I might get rid of... there is a fair bit of value actually this week. So Rankin's pretty cheap. Holmes, I'm probably not sold on Holmes. He could drop a bit more in price. Then yeah, there's the GWS Port Adelaide matchups coming up. So like I've been saying that maybe just try and grab him after those games. He should be a bit cheaper. He'll probably cop a tag in one of the games. If it's not him, it'll be Bailey Smith. But yeah, most likely he will get tagged in one of those games. And then probably won't be looking at Dale. He's a bit of a stitch up if you've got him. Hasn't been great. And then Sam Darcy, sorry, I'm not sure when he's coming back, so give him the flick. But yeah, he seems like he was in unreal form before he did his injury. Dane Zorko's fairly cheap, actually. But yeah, there was a reason I didn't start him, so I don't think... he does have Gold Coast this week, which could be a monster score, actually, so that's not a bad trade-in if you want to go there. Not a bad run, actually, for Brisbane defenders, so I think he's at basement level price. Brizzy, this Des kick, yeah, not too bad, pretty good. Not general. Yeah, he's not a bad option, but just with his age and stuff, that's why I didn't want to pick him. So yeah, could be a good selection if you wanted to go there. But Whitfield, not really looking at him for a while. I don't think a couple of weeks. So I think there's bigger fish to try and get in. Like we need to get in Bont and Butters, who are just ridiculous. Like Butters is nearly at 700k. He's got Bulldogs coming up, where last time he played him, he scored 159, which is just ridiculous. Yeah, I don't even know. It's just like you can't really do much about it. You just got to hope that he goes down in price. I don't know if I can contemplate spending 700k on a player, but just got to hope that he gets a massive tag coming up against GWS in a couple, 5 weeks, sorry. But yeah, he didn't. I think he got tagged. They tried to tag him in the Sydney game, and yeah, he just went nuts. Highest score of the year, which is ridiculous. Petrarca, someone that I might trade in this week, I think is probably the best bet for the forward line. I reckon he's probably a better shout than Rankin. He finally turned up. Less likely to get injured, you would imagine, and play out games, kick goals more. I think his split is probably better for like the midfield, but who knows. Matt Real had a shocking game. I think he got the tag this week, so could come down again in price. But I don't know about Real. I think there's other guys that I'd rather go for over him. What's wrong with the bloody website's a bit laggy for the moment. Haven't quickly have a geese. So Flanders, someone that might come down, but not really in consideration at this point. Chad Warner's at like basement level, sorry. Could get tagged this week. I doubt it though. I think it would be Heaney that would get tagged, but yeah, I'm not too sure if I'd go there. I think I still prefer Track over him. And yeah, Brayshaw is just going nuts. And Connor Rosie's another guy that might need to get in this week, I think. Yeah, it's not bad. Could go him. I think it's like, maybe I should grab a defender this week. Yeah, not too sure. Like, the intention of getting Rosie would be to hope that he gets the defender status and then you'd swing him back and then he would definitely be a top 6 defender, you would imagine, now that he's getting the kick-ins. I think that it's a pretty safe option. Probably someone that I will trade in this week with the 168 last time he played the Bulldogs there. So, yeah, someone that is very tempting, I think. The role is there. Most people in the top 1K have him, so probably should just get him in, eh? But yeah, kind of intrigued about some other players and some other options here. Like, still surprising that people are grabbing the Bont here, but surely he's getting tagged by the Port Adelaide Power this week, you would imagine. But yeah, he's got a pretty nice run coming up as well. But go over the trades anyway, so I kind of need to get rid of like one of these guys here, but I don't know if I can do that, to be honest. I might have to just get rid of Levi for the moment, get rid of Reed, which you could hold these guys, but I probably won't. And I'll get rid of Chera just in case he is injured. And that leaves me with like nearly 1.2 mil there. So who would I get? So yeah, don't know how I'm getting the top 3 blokes here. That's just a problem for another day. It's going to be hard to watch not owning them. McLuggage is going up to like 600k. Wangaleen Malira, I think, is a top 6 defender, so he's probably someone I want to aim to get in, but He's got that 130 break even. Probably goes close to that maybe against Freo, you would imagine. Lockie Ash is someone, if you started him, you'd be absolutely laughing. Got him in draft. I didn't even field him this week. What an idiot. But he's been going nuts, which is ridiculous. And yeah, Sam Walsh is starting to climb. Not really interested in him. Tom Green, don't know about him really. Maybe need to look closer at him, but not really interested in him either. Not really interested in these guys. Yeah, the Gold Coast players just kind of like switch between who's going to score well each week, so that's interesting. Same with the defenders as well for Gold Coast, so I can't really go for them. Heaney, probably no good. I mean, like, you could go for him, but I think there's more value options available, especially this week. He's probably going to cop a heavy tag, so I'd probably give it another week. McGovern, he might be someone I might bring him at the end of the year if he's playing. But yeah, he's got a nice run as well with like Marich, Marek. Sorry, I keep messing up his name, but yeah, Marek just seems to be the guy that you'd rather have instead. God, it's a bit laggy on this format, eh? When in the night mode. But yeah, say we get rid of Chera, Reed, and I'm actually super tempted by the value this week. Like, there's some guys down here that are super cheap that I might actually think about taking the punt on. Like, yeah, there's so many players. Like LDU is a guy that you could take the punt on. He's dropped like 94k basically, which is ridiculous. Flanders is going to keep dropping, you would imagine. But yeah, there's guys like that are real good value. I think like Jack Steele is a bit of a pod. Like, what if I got him in 107? I think he's had a bit of an interrupted preseason or something because he just doesn't seem to be right. But he's starting to build up some form now, I think, after the 107 in the game this week. But yeah, he had a shocking game in the Bulldogs game. Not too sure what happened there. But yeah, someone I might actually need to do a bit more research on. I think he could be a guy that could be pretty valuable if he is good. He's only in 0.5% of teams. Could be a massive pod. And yeah, I think I'd have to do a bit more research into him just to see like why he's scoring poorly, what the go is with him. Quick look actually. What's the St Kilda's lineup? It's not the worst. Pretty good fixture coming up as well. Just have a quick look at the CBAs. It's a bit risky though, obviously. So had a lot, missed 2 games there. 68%. Not really sure what happened there. He's had the most CBAs he's had this year in that game where he went 107. So yeah, the issue with him is he usually goes missing from past owning experiences there. So yeah, and it's kind of like it's a bit dumb as well. Like, you might as well just grab someone else who's actually a keeper, like around the same price, like a what's his name, like a Petrarca or someone. Which I'll probably do this week. I think Petrarca is the way to go. Put him in the forward line. If he will swap there, yep. In defence, maybe we grab Oscar McDonald, is it? I think he should be able to maintain his spot. He's one of the only real rookies that is there. But there is the question if Luke Jackson comes back this week or not. He may be getting dropped, so that's another one to watch out for. We'll have to wait for the team sheets, but I think he's done enough to like cement his spot in the team. It's a great story that he's come back into the side and everything. And then, yeah, I don't know. It's like, yeah, there's these guys here that are tempting. Who was there? Callahan's kind of just sitting around the same price. Shea Bolton's been alright, but I probably wouldn't pick him. Chad Warner, not too sure about him with like other guys like Mills coming to the side at some point, and Goulden whenever he comes back, not too sure. I think it's been just a one-off sort of game. He just signed the contract extension, and yeah, he played well, but someone to definitely monitor. Couple shocking games there. Yeah, I'm not too. I think I'd just go Petrarca over him. If you didn't have either of them, I'd go Petrarca. Personally, I think that's the play. And someone I was looking at is a bit of a pod as well was Warple, just because his fixture looks pretty juicy. He's got a 59 break even. Could be a guy that I need to have a bit more of a look at. Not too sure what happened the first game. I think he got subbed out pretty early, and then, may have got a bit of attention in the Port Adelaide game. Not too sure, but have to have a look into it. He's someone that I think could just stay above 100 like all year in terms of scoring. Like he's probably going to go 105 or 110 every game, because he seems to be like one of the main guys behind Newcomb, and then he's not going to get tagged as well. So someone that is interesting, I think. But yeah, he's what CBA kind of dropped off a little bit from last game. Who's that? Mackenzie got some more. Yeah, they're kind of sharing it around like with Dylan Moore and stuff as well. But yeah, when I was watching like the preseason games, I did actually like the look of Warple. I thought he did look pretty good. He's still pretty young. Not too sure about his contract status yet. I think he's out of contract, so he could be a guy that's looking to play well. But yeah, he's another massive pod. But yeah, it's kind of like, why would I do that? I should just get someone who's good and is going to be a keeper. But yeah, there is that value this week. There's just heaps of guys that are super cheap, that could score well. Maybe you do the value route and you just stack your team with these value options instead of going for someone that's a bit more expensive. But yeah, I think who I'm leaning towards, is Connor Rosie. I think this would most likely be my trade situation. It would just mean that I'd have to cop a bloody donut again in the midfield if these guys aren't playing. But, it's not a big deal with the flex position there. It just means like these rookies that I'm fielding are kind of a bit of a worry though. That's the only thing. It's just who am I going to field in the forward line? Maybe Cleary, but he's a bit inconsistent. And then 65 could haunt me for the week. But I think that's like the most obvious trade. And then I can still hopefully loophole there. So I can loop Oscar McDonald's score and Carroll for leak. So that's probably a play. It does mean I'm holding on to a Jaden Short for another week, which is a bit risky. But I think it's the week that you just grab Rosie and Petrarca if you don't have those guys, because Rosie's most likely going to be a top 6 defender, and same with Track. So I think I'll use a boost. Going to have to cop another donut if Nevitt's not back, or Hall or Gross or any of these guys don't play. Hopefully they come back for my sake, but yeah, it's a bit of a joke really. Harswaite is another guy you could bring in, but does have Richmond, so it could be a good on-field score for you guys this week. I don't really like bringing in players early, but he seems like one of those guys that has a bit of hype behind him for the Hawks, so I think he should be able to maintain his spot in the side. But yeah, just not too sure about like the risk of like the sub risk and stuff like that. But I think he's, after a good game, he should be pretty right to stay in the team. Kako seems to be the most traded out player there. So yeah, there's a couple other options it's like that I'm kind of playing up with. What if I just hold on to Chera? But yeah, I don't think that Chera is going to be a keeper for me. But if I wanted to hold on to him, what could I do? Not really sure. Maybe I get rid of Short, but can't really get the same sort of value. Like really, I should be doing something like this where I'm getting rid of a Nevitt type. And then I've got money for next week. And then who would you get in? Not many rookies are available in the midfield, I don't think. So it's kind of like, who would I put there? Maybe I'd put a Hewitt. Maybe swing him in there just to have that loophole. I mean, the swing available, which I desperately need. Otherwise, yeah, not too many rookies here. Sandy Brock in defence. Don't think he's coming back anytime soon. Who else is there? No one really here. There was that guy in the midfield, I think it was, that I was kind of tempted to do. It's a bit of a stupid pick, though. Who was it? He was like an odd price. He went down in price for the Bulldogs. Cooper Haynes. He scored 6. So I think he's a high draft pick. So like, I think he went pick 20. But he's someone, if you're desperate, maybe you bring him in. But yeah, I think he's just been the sub most games. So it's a bit of a stitch up, really, if you bring it in. But yeah, it's probably wouldn't recommend it. It's just hopefully you can get a full game sometime and reset his cash gen. But yeah, it's just not ideal really with the rookies, and you've got this James bloke here that's got a 13, so you'd be spewing if you traded him in early. He could get dropped, and then you got Oscar McDonald, which could be the play really for me if I get rid of Short. It's just, yeah, I probably have to field 2 rookies down back there, which is a bit risky, probably not ideal. That leaves me with about 868k. Maybe that's the play. Maybe I just grab McDonald if he... This is probably the play because Short has just been horrendous, honestly. Could just hold Chera. Just really is dependent on the Chera news. If he's out, probably just trade him, honestly. Even if he's only out for like a couple of weeks, I think I'll just trade him and just go pull the trigger. Because, yeah, if he's not a keeper in my eyes, then I think you just got to get rid of him. Like, if you don't value him as a keeper, then just get rid of him. So Dylan Moore's a guy. I don't know if he's a top 6 forward in my opinion with other guys coming through. So still leaning towards grabbing Petrarca, obviously. I think it's just like he's so cheap. He hasn't really been this cheap before. And then it's like I've got 371k, which is can't really do too much with that. It's like you probably just free up the coin maybe for a player next week. Could be the go. But yeah, it is really just dependent on, you know, who is playing and like who is not playing. But have a quick look here. Is it going to load? Bloody going off, talking too much, hey? But Sam Pepper, bloody what a miss he's been. He's nearly at 400k, ridiculous. Yeah, there's not really anyone around this sort of price range that I would grab, I don't think. Yeah, nothing really there. Could see if like Callum Mills is available, but you know, then you're going early on him. Not a good sign. But yeah, I'd have to figure out how to get him in. Would have to get rid of like a McDonald type. But yeah, I don't know. It's a bit of a weird one. I think this is like sort of the play that you got to do. I just need to get like a rookie in the midfield just to fix the problem of not having anyone playing at M8. Yeah, it's just a matter of who to bring in, I guess. Bit dry this week. Yeah, I don't know. Would you pay up for someone? Not really sure. Getting pretty pricey at this range. Ollie Henry, what the hell? He's pretty cheap. 108 break even. Could be coming down in a couple of weeks. Yeah, not really sure, eh? Not many options. Could bring in someone a bit risky, eh? But it would be like, who would it be? No one that I would actually take the punt on. Going too far. Money could be spent elsewhere. Not sure. Actually I have no idea. Just going on for too long now. Probably need to wrap it up, eh? Probably have to make an updated video later in the week just to see what I want to do. Oh, I could get in Bailey Humphrey, my guy. Oh, that'd be the silliest thing, wouldn't it? Oh, yeah, what a joke that is. Oh, yeah, it's just like, who the hell do you trade in? No idea. Maybe you just bring in that Harsweight bloke. And who else was I looking at? It was kind of Rosie. I think that's the better play. Hey, just what if I just get rid of Reed? Then I've got to get a defender. 480k. It's not not even anyone. I can't even get anyone. Yeah, jeez, it's not looking ideal, is it? I think, yeah, the best. Oh, well, kind of. What if we just hold on to Reed, get rid of Nevitt in case he's injured, and then we just grab someone else. Who do we grab? No one, basically. We'll just grab Harswaite, maybe. Just go early on him. I think he's got the best job security. Do that, maybe. Gives me 250k in the bank next week. It's probably the play. Got Richmond, so he should be able to score well on field. You would imagine. This probably like makes the most sense for my team structure. But yeah, if Chera's not playing, I'll probably go the other route where I've got to cop a donut in the M8 position, I reckon. But I think this is probably not a bad shout, and then we can still loophole these two rookies. Gonna have to field Reed, which is a bit risky, I guess. But yeah, pumps out some good scores, so not a bad shout. Get the C off of him. Maybe Dacos. Oh, have a quick look at Captain C's. So yeah, Connor Rosie might be a shout for a VC option if you got him. With a 168 in the bag last time. But yeah, I'm bloody going on a bit too much this video, eh? Just a lot of thinking. Who's Gorn got? West Coast, he could go destructive against those guys. If it's Flynn, he's probably going to just give him an absolute new one. So probably a C option. I'll just have to have a look who's available. Tom DeConing against Rob. Not really sure. Rob's kind of picked up form as of such. I think Petrarca's a guy that you could... Oh, well, same with Gorn as well. It's like, which one of those guys would you go with? Probably Gorn. He's just an absolute gun. Who else is there, really? Don't really know. Essendon against North. Could do a bit of a risky one here. What's Merritt's ownership? 12%. Could be a play if I wanted to have a bit of a punt. Probably not though. Bit risky, I think. Dacos against Geelong, yeah, could be a shout. To be fair, could be a pretty decent score, you would imagine. Sarong, haven't thought of him against the Saints. Maybe that's a shout. I don't know. Brayshaw, you got him. Probably put it on him, but Neil against Gold Coast is another guy I think I like the look of. When does he play? Could be just the C option. Do the C on Neil. It's probably a pretty safe VCC route. Already got all the Melbourne guys. Sheasel, he's in pretty good nick. Could be a bit of a VC option this week if you wanted to go there. I probably wouldn't do it. What about Sinclair? What's his past scores like? He needs a bounce back game, but probably unlikely. I think, yeah, that's a pretty obvious choice there. The VC on Gorn into Neil. What is McRae's history actually against Freo? Not the greatest. But yeah, this is probably the most logical trade scenario that I should do this week, just to get like a playing rookie at M8. I think that's probably the smartest thing to do there. Leaves me 250k in the bank for next week, where I can try and upgrade someone else. I don't know who that would be. Maybe Reed. Get Reed to someone else. Maybe a proper defender. But yeah, it's a bit more risky having a field like another rookie basically on the field. Whereas if I went with the other option, we'll just have Nank covering that spot anyway. So maybe that's the play, really. Maybe that is the play, just cop a donut. Who do I even trade out again? I can't even remember. Maybe it was Reed and... Yeah. I think it probably makes a bit more sense to go this way, because then I can cop Rosie's score this week as well. Just considering that he's got a great record against... who is it? The Bulldogs. But yeah, going a bit too long this video. Sorry about that, guys. Hopefully it's enjoyable. But yeah, I think this is what I'm more leaning towards at this point in time. It just makes a bit more sense. Christian Petrarca, and yeah, that'll leave me enough coin for McDonald. Yeah, it's a bit indecisive this week, but just gonna have. I'm just doing my like little research rant, I guess. Who was it? McDonald. Bring him in. Oh shit, not him. Wait, what? Oh, right. Yeah, okay. There we go. So yeah, I think I like the look of that. So I'm getting rid of someone that I don't consider to be a premium. Well, he could be a premium, but like not a keeper. For 2 keepers and a rookie, I think that makes the most sense, really. Leaves me with a donut in the midfield though. But yeah, we'll just say that Nank is in the midfield. So realistically, we're only fielding two rookies if you don't count Bice there. So I think that's probably the way to do it. I think I'll let me know in the comments what you guys are thinking for your trades. If you need any advice or anything, let me know. Happy to answer all the comments down below. So yeah, hopefully if you guys did enjoy this video, please smash the like button and subscribe for more. But I think I'm just going to go still with, yeah, could do the VC on Rosie this time actually. Now that, yeah, I think maybe it's worth the punt. But yeah, in terms of like past couple scores, you probably would rather just go Neil. I think it's more like the average is higher for the last 3 games compared to Rosie's last 3 games against the Bulldogs. So I think you'll probably just do the VC gone into Neil personally. But yeah, I think the team looks a lot better like this, and then I'll be able to swing Rosie into defence later in the year. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. Sorry if I've been going on a bit too long, but yeah, let me know in the comments down below what you guys are thinking this week, how you scored, what your rank is. Keen to hear from you guys. But yeah, thanks so much again. See ya.